You know, we think of rivers as being ancient, right? Older than any civilization. But what if I told you about a legend? A legend of a river that's so old, it actually outlasts the universe itself. It's a truly mind-bending idea, and it all revolves around one single sacred river.
And that line right there, that sets the stage perfectly. Imagine everything you know, worlds, rivers, even the vast oceans, gone, wiped clean. And yet, through all that cosmic silence, one river is said to just keep on flowing. That river is the Narmada, and this is its incredible story.
So we're not just talking about a body of water here. We're diving into the idea of an eternal entity. See, in Hindu cosmology, the universe goes through these immense cycles of creation and destruction. They're called kalpas. And at the end of a kalpa, everything gets dissolved. It's like a cosmic reset button. But this legend claims that the Narmada, well, she gets to ignore that ultimate rule.
So you have to ask, where does a claim this huge even come from? Well, this isn't just some random folktale. It's a sacred account, one that's been passed down meticulously through a revered chain of storytellers. And that chain is the key to its authority.
Okay, so let's travel back in time. Picture a sacred, ancient forest called Naimisharanya. A sage, a storyteller named Sutta, begins to speak. But he's not making this up. He's retelling a story that was first documented by one of the most important figures in Indian tradition, the great sage Vedavyasa. You know, the very person credited with composing the epic Mahabharata. So we're talking about a serious source here.
Think of this story's origin like a set of Russian nesting dolls. The story we're hearing today is just the outer layer. The story itself comes from a divine source, the god Rudra, who you might know as Shiva. It was then heard by an immortal sage, Markandeya, written down by Vedavyasa, and then retold for generations. This whole chain is so important because it frames the legend not as a human invention, but as a divine revelation. All right, so now we get to the heart of the legend that Sutta is telling. It follows the 5 heroic Pandava brothers from the Mahabharata. They're on this journey, born out of hardship, that leads them to a place that, well, it seems to exist completely outside the normal rules of nature. So here's the setup. The Pandavas have just lost everything, their entire kingdom, in a rigged game of dice. They're at rock bottom, forced into exile. But this isn't just about survival, it's a spiritual quest. They travel with their wife, Draupadi, and a group of wise brahmanas seeking sacred knowledge out in the wilderness.
And they find this hermitage that is, for all intents and purposes, a paradise on earth. But it's the details that are just incredible. Lions are resting peacefully next to deer. Cats and mice are just hanging out with no fear. This isn't just a pretty forest. It's a place where the fundamental laws of nature, predator and prey, are completely suspended. It's a sign that this place is operating on a totally different, sacred frequency. So it's here, in this impossible place of perfect harmony, that the Pandavas have an encounter that will change everything. The eldest brother, the righteous king Yudhishthira, comes face to face with someone who might just hold the answers to the deepest questions of existence. And this person is the sage Markandeya. Now, he isn't just old. He is so old it's hard to even wrap your head around it. He has lived long enough to have personally witnessed the end of entire universes. He has seen kalpas, these cosmic cycles, begin and end. He is the living memory of time itself. I mean, can you imagine the knowledge that person would hold?
And Yudhishthira, seizing this once in an eon opportunity, asks the question that's at the very heart of this whole explainer. He doesn't ask how to get his kingdom back. He doesn't ask about his own suffering. He asks about eternity. He wants to know what, if anything, actually survives the end of everything. What is truly unshakably sacred?
And now we get to the answer. But remember that sacred chain of narration? Markandeya isn't about to give his personal opinion. He is relaying a truth that he heard directly from the god Rudra, from Lord Shiva himself. This is as direct from the source as it gets.
Before he even gives the answer, Markandeya says this. He's underscoring the incredible spiritual power of the words he's about to share. Now, an Ashvamedha, or a horse sacrifice, was one of the biggest, most important, most powerful rituals a king could ever perform. And he's saying that just hearing this truth is as powerful as doing 1,000 of them. And here it is, the answer. Markandeya lists some of the most sacred rivers in all of India. The Ganga, the Yamuna, the Sarasvati. He confirms just how holy and powerful they are. But then he drops the bombshell. All of them, these great sacred rivers, even the oceans, they all perish at the end of a single cosmic cycle. But one river, the Narmada, survives. And not just for one kalpa, for 7 kalpas. The scale of that difference is just staggering.
Because of this unique, unbelievable status of surviving 7 cosmic cycles, the Narmada is famous everywhere. Her sacredness is celebrated by sages and divine beings across all 3 worlds. That's heaven, earth, and the netherworlds. She's basically a universal constant.
And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. In this sacred story, the Narmada isn't just a line on a map. She is a time-defying, eternal being. She's a physical symbol of permanence in a universe that is defined by endless cycles of destruction and rebirth. She is, as the text itself calls her, Rudra's own miracle.
So as we wrap this up, it leaves us with a pretty deep thought to chew on. This story doesn't just frame the Narmada as a survivor. It frames her as a constant, unshakable source of sanctity. And it makes you wonder, if something, a place, an idea, a river, can truly exist beyond time, what does that mean for its power and for its sacredness in our own very fleeting world?